Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real Titans of Soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy! This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is Thursday, 8th August 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago, and I am Adana Kumbi. This is the day that the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. And there are so many things to rejoice for. Let's talk about life, for instance. It's a good thing to give God thanks for life. We are in the land of the living, and though challenges might come our way, we still must give thanks to Almighty God. Remember, we started off the week by saying positive affirmations, and I hope you've been giving yourself affirmations this week to guide you through and to support you, to motivate you, to go through the challenges that you might face this week. Of course, before we get into all of our conversations this morning, we have to head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, August 8, 2024. Political leader of the Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips, has expressed agreement with Gary Griffith, leader of the National Transformation Alliance, regarding the illegal immigration of Venezuelans into Trinidad and Tobago. Phillips is concerned that the influx of Venezuelans is overwhelming Trinidad and Tobago government and contributing to the rising crime rate. The turmoil in Venezuela, especially since the re-election election of President Nicolas Maduro has led many Venezuelans to seek refuge in Trinidad and Tobago. Phillips echoed Griffith's recent comments on the issue and questioned the future stability of Trinidad and Tobago government if this influx continues. Up next, the Elections and Boundaries Commission clarified that reports about requiring returning officer applicants to declare their political allegiance are misleading. The EBC received allegations from various political parties about returning officers being members of political parties, prompting it to seek legal advice. The legal opinion confirmed that asking applicants to declare political party membership is advisable and lawful, distinguishing this from disclosing voting preference, which remain protected. The EBC emphasized its commitment to impartiality and transparency in the electoral process, considering this requirement a proactive step to mitigate potential conflicts or interests. And finally, Minister in the Ministry of National Security Keith Scotland aligns with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine's stance that it's time for the decisive action against crime in Tobago. Scotland plans to visit the island to strengthen the crime plan, having already spoken with local police and business leaders. He assured Tobagonians that the government is committed to ensuring their safety. Augustine backs this effort, offering the resources of the Tobago House of Assembly. Both Scotland and Augustine emphasized the urgency, with Scotland noting that there will be no honeymoon period during his visit. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And you know, of course, we will keep talking about crime until that situation is managed well and executed to the point where we feel safe as citizens here in Trinidad and primarily in Tobago. So we look to see what those conversations will turn to, what they will materialize to, and how it will be implemented in the Tobago space. Yes. Biana, have you been following the Olympics?
Not really, Adana, but in terms of it's
Jareem Richards, yes.
Right. I was hearing co-workers talking about his, participation in the race, but I didn't get to hear the end of it.
Unfortunately, he came in fourth place.
Okay.
In the 400 meter, and of course disappointed because he thought that he could have pushed more to get in, but he said that he gave his very best. And of course you will feel that sense of disappointment because you've just been edged out there from getting a medal. But of course, Jeremy, we just want to continue to join with the rest of the Trinidad and Tobago and send that measure of support for Jeremy as well, knowing that he gave his all. When he gave his interview, he said, in good times give God thanks, in bad times give God thanks.
Yes.
And of course that he knew that he gave his very best.
Yes,
and that is all we can ask from anyone, really. Whatever you're doing, to put your best foot forward, and whatever the outcome is, be rest assured that your best is all that you could have given at that point in time.
Yes.
So Biana, of course, as we head on into the weekend, starting from tomorrow, we're going to start putting our best foot forward with whatever we're doing. Even if it is rest, self-care, relaxation, time with family or friends, we have to give the best of ourselves.
Yes.
That's right. Thank you so much, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. All right, it's time for us to celebrate with those who are celebrating this morning. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. All right, this morning on screen and celebrating a birthday, we have Akira Wilson. Akira Wilson is celebrating a birthday this morning, and we want to say happy birthday to Akira. We do pray God's blessings upon your life, and we pray that as you enter into this new chapter, that this chapter will be written beautifully. So happy birthday to you. Next up, it's Avian Thomas. Avian Thomas is celebrating a birthday today, and Avian, we want to say a special birthday to you, special birthday love we send to you from all of us here at the Tobago Update Studio, and your friend, who is one of our colleagues here, Mr. Ronald Wood. We say happy birthday to you, Avian. We want to wish you the very, very, very best of your birthday today. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do pray that as you enter into this new chapter of your life, that you enjoy the blessings and the embrace of God over your life. So happy birthday to you, and God bless you. And of course, for all of you who are celebrating a birthday today, even if we don't have your photo, the sentiments are extended to you as well. We do hope that you have a wonderful birthday today, and we pray that God continues to bless you. And remember to give God thanks for life. Give God thanks for this new day, this new chapter, and this new opportunity to rewrite the pages of your very life. So give God thanks. You might be wondering, who are we speaking with today in studio? And we start off conversations this morning by speaking with Mr. Michael Frank, yes, of Frankie's Tours. He's a reef tour and boat up owner here on the island of Tobago, and we're talking about how crime is affecting the tourism industry on the island of Tobago. Very important conversation. Then we speak with Mr. Akilo Ned, CEO of Classic Cuts, and we're talking about the back to school event. Yes, you know that this is an annual event, and of course we want to have that conversation this morning in studio. And we run things up by speaking with Colonel Charles, a youth leader of the Plymouth SDA Church there in Plymouth, and we're talking about a march against violence. End it now. Very, very important conversations this morning in studio. So we do hope that you could stay with us while we have these conversations this morning. And we want to say a special good morning to all of you who have chosen to make us your choice this morning, as we are part of your morning routine, whether you're making your way to work, spending time in the garden, in the kitchen, whatever you're doing this morning. We say thank you for choosing us and for making us the #1 morning show here in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, a special good morning, whether you're viewing us on our Facebook live stream, on our YouTube channel, or on Amplier 102. We say thank you and a pleasant morning to all of you far and wide. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we begin conversations in studio. And as we go for a break, we ask all of you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Pamstar Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Max Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Morning Show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning by speaking with Mr. Michael Frank of Frankie Stores, a reef tour boat owner here on the island of Tobago. And of course, we're going to be speaking about the impact of crime on the tourism industry here on the island. Good morning, Mr. Frankie, and welcome.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the wider community.
Right. And so, well, we know we're in a situation now. If I can recall, the last time we had conversations here, we were talking about, this was post-COVID, and we were talking about how the industry was picking up. And you went on to say that we could destroy the previous records because it was doing so well. And now here we are, another situation is arising, and we're experiencing a lot of criminal activity on the island of Tobago, some resulting in the deaths of persons, murder tolls rising, gun violence, and all types of violence happening on the island of Tobago, sadly, which we are having reports that the TTPS and the other agencies are trying to put strategies in place to curb this measure of violence. In the interim, though, while it is happening, we want to talk about how it is impacting the industry from where you sit as an operator, as someone who interacts with our tourists, both domestic and international tourists. How has it been in your neck of the woods?
Well, put it this way. Crime is very bad for the country. It's affecting the country negative in any way and every way you could think about it. However, because the crime is basically no happen, people has already had their bookings in place already. So in most cases, it's difficult for them to cancel or just jump off. So it's busy. The island is extremely busy right now, but from the international market, it is not doing very well at all. I mean, I just came back from Germany about a couple months ago, and everything you could see in the papers is negative reviews about Tobago. And that has a major downstream effect on the country. And I actually went to Holland as well, and it was the same. Because being a tourism operator, I would always check on, to see how we're doing on the international market. And on all sides, it's extremely negative. And that was about a month and a half ago. So it's even getting worse now because the crime statistic has risen. And of course, with that, it's going to put more negative publicity out there. And locally, I can see the trend. I'm talking to people every day, and they also, even from locally from Trinidad and Tobago, they have a problem with the crime, and they all has the negative impact that if it continues, they will not come here. Anything that is wrong affect tourism. Crime is the worst one of them. So the trajectory is not very good for the long term. So hopefully we can put a handle on this as soon as possible.
That's right. And as you mentioned earlier, you said that persons have already made their bookings, they've paid for their tickets, and so they're either already here or heading here on the island. But in terms of them being on the island, coming to Tobago, what is it like in terms of participating in tourist activities, for instance, tours and other activities on the island, whether it's reef tours, island tours? What have you been hearing, or what has been the experience in terms of what is happening in the immediate space?
Well, it's busy, as I say. It's very busy. So if they already had the ticket booked, they most likely had the tours booked already. So they will just go ahead with it because they're already here. And Tobago is very beautiful. So regardless of the crime, people are happy just to be in the sun and the sea and to be out there in the forest and all this type of
But
things.
have they had any type of apprehension, although they have already booked their tours and they're saying, okay, we've already booked and paid for it, so we might as well go. Have you had any or heard any feedback in terms of, we're here, but we kind of, you can't really enjoy yourself as much as you want to because you're thinking maybe something might happen? Have you had that kind of experience or encounter?
Not really. But I can hear from the background that people is afraid, people is skeptical, but they're still going about their business. In most cases, what you're hearing more is that the crime is more confined to a certain element. That is not really touching the white stream people. You understand? So most of the truth, although they're skeptical, they're still out here and they're still having a good time.
And in terms of being an operator and an owner, what type of measures have you or thought of or tried to put in place to ensure the safety, one, of your patrons, and also the confidence in the fact that, listen, we okay, we have a measure on this and we can take care of you when you are in our company?
Well, we have upgraded a lot. I mean a lot, about 150%. Upgraded on the form of lots more cameras, lots more security on every single sector. Because we are dealing with tourism, and one bad mistake will have a major effect for any tour operator. So on our side, we have upgraded a lot. I mean, we have spent a lot of cash just on upgrade, especially in cameras and other form of securities. So yeah, that's what we are doing to improve it.
All right, and I'm happy to know that, as you mentioned, that the period is busy, that people are still coming, and because they've already booked. And you mentioned that the trajectory might be very negative if we continue, if the crime situation continues to escalate, or even continues as it is right now. And so, how we want to talk about now your point of view in terms of the agencies who are responsible for ensuring that we live in a safe space. I know that there have been multiple town hall meetings. I know that there are community involvement. I know that they are working with external agencies to ensure that we can curb crime on the island of Tobago. Have you been a part of any of these conversations? Has there been any consultation with the business community, with the tourism community in terms of the approaches that can be taken?
Well, yes, I have been in lots of different meetings that consist of how we can help. Crime is not just a government thing or a police thing. It's an everybody thing. Everybody has to play their part in order for us to control the crime situation. I mean, it's hard work on the police alone to do it. And we know, as everything, most time the police can only act after the fact. What we need to do is to stem the flow of guns and ammunition into the country. And there are many ways we can do that, and I'm surprised that we have not jumped into the fact of using drones to patrol the ocean to make sure that people doesn't travel in and out of the country illegally and bring in things into the country illegally. We have to make that step. We have to be able to protect our borders. If we don't, it's just going to get worse and worse. So being able to just stem the crime here on the island is one, but stopping more from coming in is another situation. We have to find a way to stop it.
And that's right, because as we always say on this program, whenever we talk about especially gun-related crimes, we don't manufacture guns here. Yeah. So they're coming in through our borders. So border strengthening is very, very important, as it were. Where you stand there, your other colleagues who also, have the same trade as you, how has it been for them? What have they been saying about, their experiences and their confidence in the fact that the industry is doing okay now, but how do we have to put a handle on the crime situation? We have to put a handle on it to ensure that we can continue and sustain, because most of them, that is their primary source of income, right? What is the feeling like on the ground in terms of your colleagues?
Well, they're all skeptical about what's going to happen in the future. We all are skeptical because we already know that crime is going to push the tourism down. And because of that, everybody is now putting things in place to see what can be happening in the next month or next 2 months. We are at a situation right now that although things is good, we know that at the trajectory, it's going to get really bad. Mm-hmm. We already have a very low tourism in Trinidad and Tobago compared to all the other Caribbean islands. And all we're doing is heading further down. For the last couple of years, tourism has dropped, I would think, 70% or something like that. The people that sustain tourism in Tobago mainly now is the local people. People from Tobago here, people from Trinidad. They are the main sustainer of tourism. And if we get them scared, we're in real major problems. So we have to do something to stop it. And all the colleagues are on the same page with this. the thing has to be major enforcement from all sectors, not just land-based, but sea-based, air-based. Every single sector can stem this. The people have to put their part in as well. Everybody has to come together to see if we could fix this problem.
And you know, you mentioned that tourism, in your opinion, and your experience rather, has been on the decline for the past couple of years, right? What would you say, or what would you recommend as something that can be done to bring some measure of improvements? Because of course you've been in this business for a very long time, so you've seen trends, you've seen how the traffic moves, you've seen what people respond to. What are some of the things, or one main thing that you think can be either implemented or re-implemented to bring that measure of increase in the influx of persons here on the island of Tobago to participate in tourism activities?
Well, the first major thing we have to do is mass advertising. We have to do mass advertising in countries that we don't normally advertise to. Our marketing is mainly geared towards the US and towards Europe. We have to spread it across the board. We have to look at new markets, and we have to increase our airlift into the country. As we stand, Tobago has literally no airlift, 2 flights a week. That is a drip in the bucket. You know, if you compare it with any other Caribbean island, the minimum flight, say for instance, Grenada have in a day, you're talking about 20. Minimum. If you talk about Barbados and Jamaica and them, then you're talking about 40, 50 international flights a day. We lucky we have 2 a week. No, this is not tourism, especially from the international market. This is just, we're literally kicking ourselves in the bum. We're not doing anything to improve the tourism. We need to advertise mass around the world. We need to increase our airlift so that there could be a nice revenue driven from the international market. The local people live right there, and they are struggling to get here. Airlift has to be improved, and even sea lift, because we need more people coming into the country.
And you know, that is a very interesting point of view, because the conversation about getting to Tobago has been ongoing for years. It's not a new conversation. It has been going on for a very long time. And I know in reports from the Secretary of Tourism, I know she mentioned that they are in conversations with getting more airlifts, more airlines on the island of Tobago in terms of international airlines coming in here. But the primary thing really is to fix the domestic bridge between Trinidad and Tobago as well. You know, there are certain things that have to be done in order to ensure that, you know, that the influx of people on the island, you mentioned that right now, as it were, domestic tourism is what is really carrying us, you know, and of course we have to ensure we put those things in place as well. Mr. Frankie, in closing, what is the main thing you want our viewers to take away from here this morning? Remember, we have international viewers who are looking at us, who would want to come on vacation in Tobago, who would want to be tourists and participate in the beauty of the island, to experience the island of Tobago. If you were to sell this island, to market this island in 30 seconds, to tell them, listen, yes, let's not talk about the crime part, right? But why is it important for them to still come and enjoy what is happening here on the island of Tobago?
Well, we have one of the best Caribbean islands. I've been to every single Caribbean island, and Tobago is a gem. It has extremely natural beauty. It has really beautiful people. This country is amazing in every way and form. We have some of the best wonders of the world. An island pool, for instance, you can't compare it anywhere in the world you can go. I mean, what we have here is hard to actually put into one small cap. Sea, sun, forest, we have it all. Yes, and so people should come to Tobago because there's a lot to offer in every way and form. Good food, good culture, good in every way and form.
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Mr. Michael Frank of Frankie's Tours, speaking about the impact of crime on the tourism industry and just general tourism industry conversations this morning, as it were. Thank you so much for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us even up until now. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And as we go for that break, we ask you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta, fun.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke where you have, where you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good on. They do good enough, nine. Girl, go the club, can't ride. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it again.
That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning in studio, and this morning we speak with Mr. Akilan Ned, and he is the CEO of Classic Cuts. We also speak with Giovanni Williams. He's the CEO of A-Class Cuts, and we're talking about the Back to School project, an annual project, of course, and we're going to have some more information about that this morning. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Right, it's a pleasure to have you guys here this morning. And you know, of course, it's always really lovely to see young men supporting other young men. And in this regard, we're talking about young men supporting young boys. And we're talking now about the Back to School project. So our viewers would like to know what this project is about.
All right, so this project is basically a back to school project where it is we provide free haircuts for children under the age of 12. Also, it's not just haircut we provide on the day. We also have refreshments. We also have activities taking place for the parents. So we have little musical chairs. We have prizes to be won and stuff like that.
So it's an all-day type of interaction?
Yes, it's an all-day activity. We also provide stationaries for the children, where we provide erasers, pencils, you know, the little stationery stuff. We put that in a little pencil case, and we provide that also for the kids.
And what was the idea behind providing this service to the young boys who are going back out to school?
The idea came about me thinking about some of the parents who may not be able to, you know, probably take the children to the salon for a haircut. Some unfortunate ones as well. So I came up with this initiative, you know, seeing where it is it could help some parents in terms of getting the children haircut to go back to school. Because, you know, around that time it has been a bit challenging in terms of getting to a barber salon, the long wait, etc. So I saw this as a day of fun and activity where it is, you know, the children could come together and
That's right. And you know, it's really, really good that you could have seen that gap in the in the market there in terms of, because parents have a lot to do in terms of preparing to get back to school. They have to make sure, because the vacation period, they send them to camp, so they know they're okay there. But that week leading up to back to school is a big rush to ensure they have all the books, they have the books covered, they have the bags packed, they have the uniform and everything. And then now to talk about the barber salon, as you mentioned, the long, long lines. So, Giovanni, you are now a part of this as well. What has it been like for you in terms of your experience in being a part of this project? Why do you think it is important to be, you know, this collaborative efforts?
I believe that the initiative is definitely excellent. I believe that this initiative has the potential to actually transform lives and transform the young men or the future leaders of tomorrow. As being a part of this initiative for the past couple of years, I've seen where many young men would have came and seen us as young men, many young barbers. I believe that they were able to see young men engaging in positive activity, engaging in business as young persons, and I believe they only not left with a haircut, but they left inspired that they too can achieve, they too can accomplish. And as being a part of this initiative, I am definitely delighted to be able to interact with the young persons in the Tobago space and give them a small investment in form of a haircut to go back to school and achieve.
And you know, you said something very important there. You know, it's not just about the haircuts. Akil, and you also said there are activities for the parents. So while the parents bring the children, they're not just waiting as they would at the barber salon anyway. They're engaged. But you're talking now about motivation. You're talking now about young men seeing other young boys, seeing young men being businessmen, being entrepreneurs, speaking into their lives, giving them positive words, you know, of encouragement. Because we know the society that we live in now. We see the environment. We see what is happening. And we see that our young men are usually on the block. They're hanging out on the block and they're getting into mischief. So this opportunity now gives you a chance to interact with these young boys and to tell them, listen, you know, you can be a barber, you could be whatever you want to be, and you too can host an event like this. Isn't this what this is about, right?
Yes, definitely.
Giving them that measure of support and encouragement. What is the thing that you look forward to the most when you host these events?
I look forward, I love kids. So I look forward to seeing the smiles on the children's faces, seeing them enjoying the event, you know, as well as seeing the parents as well, you know, bringing the children to this event and making this event a successful event.
And you, Giovanni?
Well, what I would say for sure is I'm a person who loves to speak into person's lives and give people encouragement. Seeing that I'm also a young person who came from a community and a space that also had a lot of negative. So I look forward to speaking with the young persons as they sit on the chair, where you want to become, where you would see yourself in the next 5 years, and ask them questions to have them thinking, so that the person or the young person leaves with some level of inspiration, motivation, so that when they go back to school, they're not just aimlessly in school, but they're also somebody instead of belief that they could become something. Because sometimes, although children have parents can be present but absent in the mind of the child. In terms of motivation and encouragement to accomplish purpose. So I try my best to instill values or morals or idea or sense of purpose as the kids are there on the salon chair.
Absolutely amazing, because sometimes it can be challenging being a child. Yes. I remember being a child, there are things like what we call now bullying and peer pressure and all these types of things. So having that person giving you positive words before you go back to school, where you might face so many challenges because you want to fit in, you mightn't have the same shoes as somebody else, or your bag might be not up to standards, so having that conversation I think is very important, and I commend you, you guys, for the effort that you are making, providing that space for the young men, having the haircut, socializing, interacting, and even for the parents as well, where they too can just relax. They don't have to feel rushed. I'm at the barber salon, but I have XYZ to do, so let me just get this done with. Providing that space for them makes it more comfortable. So when is this event taking place?
This event is on the 1st of September at the Boko Integrated Facility. And also what we are doing this year, we are sponsoring one child a full back-to-school package, right, whereby we'll be selecting a child who is mostly in need of help, and we will be providing this child with school books, shoes, full back-to-school package. And also, what I came up with is that normally when we give back, we don't follow up on families or even a child, like if we sponsor something. So what I had in mind is having like a 6 months where it is we follow up on this child. So basically, Giovanni and I are going to have like a GoFund box in our barber salon where clients can now come and donate towards this child and this family who mostly in need of help. And every month we would give a report in terms of how much funds we were able to raise and what we did with that funds, how we were able to help this child, and how much the funds was able to benefit this child. If we were able to buy books this month, buy groceries for the family, and stuff like that.
Now, I want to speak to you directly, our viewers. I hope you are listening to the conversations we're having here this morning. And these are two young men from the island of Tobago wanting to give back to younger boys on the island of Tobago. Very, very commendable efforts. And I urge you to support them in this effort this morning as they get there on the 1st of September to help young people, not just to supply them with a haircut that will make them look nice and fresh for back to school, but also do that measure of follow-up, that measure of staying connected with the persons, especially that person who is going to be outfitted with the full kit for school in terms of their stationery supplies, their school books, and all that is required. So please support them in this event that is taking place there. Now, is there a registration form? How does one participate in the event?
Right. So because of last year, we had a big rush. The event started at 8 a.m. last year, and by 7 we had like 10 people outside waiting. Right. So just to have a bit order this year, what we did, we have tickets. Right, so you need to come to Giovanni Barbershop, that's A-Class Cuts in Plymouth, or you could come to my barber salon, that's located in Sissolans, whereby we'll be giving parents a chit. So the chit now will secure your spot for your child for the free haircut. So the chit as well would have a number on it where it is let's say from between 1 to 10, they would come at a certain time. So we'll have order.
Right.
Yes.
This is well planned out, well thought about, and of course, what I like most about this conversation is the fact that you reviewed, you assessed your progress over the years, and you saw where you could do the improvements, and you have done it, and so you're putting things in place to ensure a smooth transition for this edition of your project. And I do want to wish you the very, very best where this is concerned. Is there any contact details that you should share, or is it that they just walk into the barber salon?
They could just walk into the barber salon, In terms of the package that we want to give to the person who is mostly in need of help, they can contact me on Instagram at classic_cuts by Akilon, or you could send me a WhatsApp message 358-2321, whereby when people send in their requests, we would go and do our own little interview to see who is mostly in need of help. So to select the person to give them that full back to school package.
So you guys basically thought about everything where this event is concerned, and I really truly appreciate that very much, and I wish you the very, very best, all the best success, and I do hope that people come on board and support this effort, stand with you and speak into the lives of these young people, and to show them, just to show them that they can be whatever they put their minds to with the right support that you guys are giving them on this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with two beautiful young men from the island of Tobago who are hosting a back-to-school event for our young boys here on the island of Tobago, taking place on the 1st of September. They're at the Buko Integrated Facility. Of course, if you want to participate, if you want your child to participate, you can head on over to the barber saloons to collect your chits. Remember, we're speaking about order this time around, so go and collect your chits early if you think that your child can benefit from it. Remember, there's also activities for the parents as well. So I believe it will be a day well spent, and so you don't want to miss it. And in case you want to partner with them, I think, although they didn't mention it, if you want to partner with them, I think it's an amazing opportunity to, you know, collaborate with them on this effort and future efforts as they impart on the lives of young boys on the island of Tobago. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Kingsway Ministries International presents Shiloh Fest 2024, Demolishing Limitations, Building Destiny, from August 7th to 11th. Powerful ministers include Bishop David Ibelami, Pastor Anthony Clark, Pastor Ayo Ajim, and host pastor Bishop Ayatunde Akindele.
Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I called you into something. I anointed you to be able to get some things done. But you must see it.
What God has already said yes to, He cannot turn around and say no to.
It is not that the weapons will not be formed. It is that the weapons, though are formed, they will not prosper.
God wants to take you to that level this year where you deal with the limitations and get the actual result that God has for you.
Shiloh Fest 2024 happens from August 7th to 11th at Victory Outreach Church, Scarborough, Tobago. For more information, contact 391-0078 or 354-8654. Shiloh Fest 2024, Demolishing Limitations, Building Destiny. See you at Shiloh Fest.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this okay is my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Together till we
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Pamstar Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Maths Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:45 a.m. So if you're making it to work for 8 a.m., you have just about 15 minutes to get there. Remember to drive safely on our nation's roads. We want you to get there safe, and we want to ensure that all our road users are safe this morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. We are heading on into our another conversation this morning as we speak with Mr. Carnival Charles. He is a youth leader there at the Plymouth Seventh-day Adventist Church, and this morning we're talking about a march against violence and crime. End it now. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here.
Of course, an absolute pleasure. And we're talking about violence and we're talking about crime, because violence is a crime.
Definitely.
Right? And if we can make any reference to what is happening in our space now on the island of Tobago, it is very, very frightening.
Yes.
You know, so many things are happening, things that we're not used to here on the island of Tobago, and it is causing a lot of concern. And so now the youth voice is raising up this morning from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and of course we want to commend this effort. What is the genesis behind the idea, and what are the things that you're hoping to achieve from this this march?
Well, you know, I'm from Plymouth, right? And I attend the church in the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Plymouth there. And you know, recently there have been several incidences of violence, right? And we as a church, you know, saw it as a strong responsibility to make our voice be heard, to get out there in the village of Plymouth and encourage a non-violence life, encourage a community where it can be safe, where it can be peace, and when everyone can come as one within unity to promote a non-violent community.
And you know, it really does start community by community, household by household, to ensure that we can stay safe and we live in a space that is non-violent, as it were. And so now we're having this march. You know, we've been having so many reports over the past couple of weeks and months about what is happening on the island of Tobago, but I find that we kind of sometimes are a reactive society.
Definitely.
Right? And now we're here in this position, we're thinking, what can we do? What can we do? And this march now is sort of a kind of a call. What, in terms of the response to this call, what is the collaborative effort like in terms of the members of the church and the members of the community? What are they feeling and sensing in terms of, we need to really do something about this crime situation?
Yes, well, the support has been overwhelming. I said it's an initiative from the Adventist Church, but it's not the Adventist Church alone. You know, all other stakeholders are on board. We invited all other stakeholders, for example, at the Stokeville Football Club. We invited all other churches. We invited, you know, because it's not about, in terms of fighting crime, not about religion. You know, we invited, you know, politicians from both sides of the party. So it's beyond political affiliation and beyond religion. So everyone has to come together to fight crime. And this is what we want to incorporate. This is what we want to push forward for us to really fight the situation that is happening right now.
And you're quite right. You know, crime and violence is not a one-man thing. It's not a one organization thing. It affects all of us who reside in the space where these things are happening. And so the call for us to come together as one to fight this is very, very important and very commendable. And I do hope that the people come out in their numbers for this particular event. You know, this taking place, remind us when this is taking place?
Next week, Saturday, that's this Saturday, the 17th of August. At 3:30 p.m. It starts at the Plymouth Seventh-day Adventist Church on Shelbourne Street. And we're going through the villages, through the village of Plymouth, and we're stopping at different areas where we'll give a little message and, of course, a word of prayer to cover the neighborhood, cover the village. This, you know, we have been in the community. We are usually in the community, you know, so going out Saturday, next Saturday coming, you know, we are already seeing the support. You know, when we were out there, you know, we see people fearing for their lives, you know, people crying, people wondering what's going on. And so we just coming together to show that, you know, the village has the support of not only the churches, but other stakeholders in the community as well. And,
you know, you said you see people crying out, and, you know, we've been crying out for some time. And before we came on here, we were talking about the things that we can do as the people in communities. Do you see any discussion or any potential for this particular march to go through different communities, even though you are based in Plymouth? Do you have any thoughts of taking it to different community, let's say community to community through the island of Tobago?
Definitely. Well, the AY Society under the Seventh-day Adventists, you know, we have a collaborative effort. So for Youth Day, which was for a few months back, we had a drive through Mount St. George, the Mount St. George Adventist Youth Arm, and we are having this march in Plymouth now, and the Mount St. George Arm is coming to support us as well. So we see that we want to carry it in other villages, you know, other communities where we can really, you know, have a foothold, you know, show them a better way of life instead of the violence, you know. One of the barbers previously, they are from Plymouth, you know, and, you know, he's a proper example of, you know, coming out of Plymouth and doing something good. And he also spoke about bullying in the last interview, and we want to start as well from the child coming up, right, where we will, you know, if we deal with them at the child level, when they reach up, it'll be easier to keep them.
And that's right, you know, as we mentioned in this interview, we speak about sometimes responding after something happens, and sometimes we don't look at what we can do to prevent things from happening. Definitely. And of course, having those conversations with young people and providing alternatives for them is a good way to keep them at least at bay, you know, from participating in violent and criminal activities in the spaces where they occupy. And, you know, as again, commendable, very, very commendable effort. And I do hope that, you know, the people come out and support and they get their voices heard. You spoke about talking to the young people, like basically mentorship. In terms of where you sit, whether it's part of AI or the SD churches, what type of mentorship have you been giving to people in your communities or even in your local communities or even in the church community in terms of helping them to stay focused and to live a life that is free of violence and crime?
Well, each Saturday we have programs in the evening from 4:30 where these evenings we invite in other people from, like say, the police, other people from different aspects to come and give their experience, you know, share their knowledge with us, you know, so that, you know, they will get another perspective from outside, you know, to really stay focused and stay in church and not go into the life of violence and stuff like that. And it has really been eye-opening, not for the youth, but for the parents as well. Because, you know, parents has a lot to play in terms of nurturing the children coming up.
And you're quite right, and I'm happy you went on to talking about parents because they have the responsibility, of course, to take care of children. Sometimes it becomes a little bit hectic because you have to go to work, you have to come home, see about the home, see about the children, see about everything, and sometimes it's easier for them to just give them a device and say, okay, play on your tablet or watch TV or something in the meantime.
And also in this age, you know, we see a problem we're seeing is the parents having to form a balance, because we see parents, you know, they want to further their education, you know, so they, from work, they go straight into classes, you know, leaving the children at home to do whatever they want, you know, but it's a good, yes, because they want a better life for them, and the children, yes, but sometimes the children is home on the block, you know, so it's a kind of balance that we want to help the parents to achieve, you know, further in their study, further in their life to better for their children as well.
That's right, that's right. And so it's all about striking a balance, and it's also a collaborative effort.
Yes.
You know, long ago, and I hardly hear these days, it takes a village to raise a child, and the child is who the future is.
Yes.
Right? And so we really need to come together as neighbors, as a community, to ensure that we have safe spaces for our children to live. This event taking place on August 17th, begins from 3:30 p.m. And tell us the route. I know you mentioned that there will be stops, but what is the route for this walk on the 17th?
Right, well, we leaving the Plymouth Church and we'll go into, I don't know if you know, we're going to Goat Rock, right? Then we up to Bethesda Hill. Then we passing through Freedom Street, and then we'll be stopping by the gas station, the little forest by the gas station there. We'll be having other speakers, you know, the Plymouth Pan group will be playing for us there as well. And, you know, the area representative, Mr. Niall George, will be speaking there as well. And he's always in with us whenever we go to the villages. So we want to thank him for his assistance and his support as well.
Right, and of course, the support of all who are coming to ensure that this walk is a success. You know, what is the primary goal for this walk? What do you want both participants and onlookers to take away from this walk? What is that one message that you want to send to ensure people understand at the end of this walk?
Well, we want people to understand that, you know, you all have support. You know, the people may be afraid to talk out. You know, people may be afraid to show their disgust, their anger, their fright. But we want to show that you know, you have the support of the stakeholders of the community. We also want them to know that, you know, we are there with them. And we want to promote peace, and we want to promote unity. Peace, unity, and love.
Of course, and I join with you with encouraging, you know, all and sundry to come out and to ensure that you participate in the event and that you support this. It's really something that is important for the time that we are in now. We have the voice as the people. We have the voice, and we can go out there and show that we are together and that enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. And it starts with us, you know. As you said, it starts with us. Sometimes a criminal or violent activity doesn't happen in space.
Definitely.
Is a human element, and so, you know, we have the voice, and so let's go out there and shout our voices as loud as possible to try to end that violence happening in our communities across the island of Tobago and to make the place safe once again. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
I just want to invite you all to come out and support this march on Plymouth this Saturday, 17th of August at 3:30 p.m. You just come out and support, show your support, come join us so that we'll have a good showing on this march, End It Now, against crime and violence.
Of course, because we know that crime and violence affect all of us. It affects me, it affects you, and our generations to come. So all are invited to come out and participate. Let your voice be heard and hear from the speakers who will be there giving encouragement and motivation as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for staying with us even up until now. But this is where we end the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. But it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT. And as we go, of course, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
have not had a shark attack in my years of scuba diving and being in the marine environment. We have never had an encounter such as that one. So we have to understand why is it that this happened, and understand that, listen, you know, these creatures, that's their home, and being in the water as a diver and even as a swimmer, one of the inherent risks is encountering one of these creatures. Yeah, so I don't think that is a worry, but I think it's a wake-up call for us to make sure that we equip our lifeguards, equip our emergency responders, so that they know in the unlikely event of an incident like that, we know what to do. As divers, we would see sharks once in a while, but most of the time it's what we call provoked or unprovoked occurrences. So when we see them, they tend to avoid us. They don't like the human contact at all. We are not part of the ecosystem, so they don't know us as food. So the fear isn't there. The fear is mutual. They are more scared of us as we of them. Okay, so we just have to respect the animal.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful!
I love Tobago, baby! Coming back next year! Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago.
Whether you're chipping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java Edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this okay is my therapy, therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love.
Pamstar Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Maths Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's conversation, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Political leader of Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips, has expressed agreement with Gary Griffith, leader of the National Transformation Alliance, regarding the illegal immigration of Venezuelans into Trinidad and Tobago. Phillips is concerned that the influx of Venezuelans is overwhelming Trinidad and Tobago government and contributing to the rise in crime rate. The turmoil in Venezuela, especially since the re-election of President Nicolas Maduro, has led many Venezuelans to seek refuge in Trinidad and Tobago. Phillips echoed Griffith's recent comments on the issue and questioned the future stability of Trinidad and Tobago government in this
if this influx continues. Additionally, the Elections and Boundaries Commission clarified that reports about requiring returning officer applicants to declare their political allegiance are misleading. The EBC received allegations from various political parties about returning officers being members of political parties, prompting it to seek legal advice. The legal opinion confirmed that asking applicants to declare political party membership is advisable and lawful, distinguishing this from disclosing voting preference, which remains protected. The EBC emphasized its commitment to impartiality and transparency in the electoral process, considering this requirement a proactive step to mitigating potential conflicts of interest. And finally, Minister in the Ministry of National Security Keith Scotland aligns with Chief Secretary Farley Augustine's stance that it's time to take decisive action against crime in Tobago. Scotland plans to visit the island to strengthen the crime plan, having already spoken with local police and business leaders. He assured Tobagonians that the government is committed to ensuring their safety. Augustine backs this effort, offering resources of the Tobago House of Assembly. Both Scotland and Augustine emphasized the urgency, while Scotland noted that there will be no honeymoon period during his visit. And that was on News in 90 Seconds. Now, this morning, we have the privilege of continuing our discussion on the crime situation in Tobago, as well as a number of other issues and critical topics of discussion. And this morning, I sit in studio once again, having the privilege of chatting with the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Mr. Watson Duke. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. It's a pleasure being here.
Good morning. Now, we have had many of these conversations, specifically post hearing about murders happening on the island. And since we've had those conversations, things have not changed significantly. As a matter of fact, we can't even say that things have changed positively, because now we are at murder number 19. Recently, you were quoted as saying that the Chief Secretary and the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, are playboys when it comes to dealing with crime in Tobago. Tell us a bit about your perspective about how this Tobago crime plan has been initiated, and if any of those strategies that have been discussed have been deemed as being successful in any way.
Crime is everybody's business. Crime affects our communities in ways that one cannot even understand or even trace. Both the Prime Minister and the Chief Secretary, who are born and bred Tobagonians, have disappointed all of us. We are of the opinion in Tobago that more should be done for crime insofar as practical terms. We don't want all this fancy talk. We don't want all this simmy-dimmy. We don't want that. What Tobagonians want is, do they feel safe within their homes, within their communities? Do they feel safe going to a sport that finishes 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? Do they feel safe in the streets or even in the church? And right now, they are not feeling safe. The Prime Minister said some years ago, prior to elections in 2015, that crime comes down to whether or not a person feels safe. And the thing is, Tobagonians are not feeling safe. Albeit the crime or the violent crimes such as murder and gun-related murders are happening in a one-dimensional aspect of Tobagonians' life. So it's not all over the place, random killings, but it's really random killings of a particular group of persons who are somewhat associated, right? And that's understood. But there are collateral damages. These are not sharpshooters. You could be talking to someone who you don't know, and that person could be wanted by someone who you don't know, and bam, all of you are taken. And so it's unfortunate. What we need in Tobago is leadership. We need leadership in Tobago that says, I am the leader and I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to get down in the highways and the byways. I want to find out what makes the young people tick in a positive direction. I want to know how could I ignite that positive flame within my people. Right now, no one is talking to the young people, but they are blaming the young people. No one is giving the young people jobs, but they are blaming the young people. For me, as the political leader and the founder of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, I would cease blaming the young people. I will cease pointing fingers at anyone. I will not blame Trinidadians. I will not blame the guys who are on the corner keeping a rhythm among themselves. I will not do that. I will start with myself as the leader and start to lead by putting certain things in place.
But don't you think that a number of the crime-related instances that we have seen in Tobago recently that has been directly linked to gang violence that stems from the rivalry between the 6 and 7 gangs? We can say, categorically that the gang violence is, is a part of the reason why we're seeing some of the spillover effect into gun violence in Tobago.
That's not truth. And I reject that idea. We do not have gangs in Tobago. What we have is individuals who, for reasons unknown to me, will commit murder. Right? And whether those persons are from Trinidad or from wherever, the crime is committed here. Thus, Tobago we must hold ourselves responsible in Tobago for any single crime that's committed on the island. Let's stop throwing red herring out and creating smoke and mirrors. Let's get straight to the issue. How do we solve crime in Tobago? Crime would require time and distance. It is said a big ship going in the wrong direction requires time and distance. When I say time, we have to start with the preschoolers. We have to start with the primary schoolers. We have to start with those in the high school. We have to start with those who have left school, in the churches, in the highways and the byways, in the homes. We have to start. There must be a holistic approach to solving crime. And this is no knee-jerk reaction. This is no flash in the pan experience. This is no loud talking experience. So let's kill a few of them. And I very well believe that is the direction some persons want to go in Tobago. When they say enough talking, they do not believe that crime is a social problem and can only be fixed socially. They believe crime is a problem that could be fixed with more crime. So kill a few of them. Stop talking. Enough talking. Let's get down to action. What action is needed again? The police have been doing the same action over and over again, but have been getting the same results over and over again. We need to bring in the social workers. We need more social workers in Tobago, attached to villages, to schools, to churches, to every social institution. There must be a social worker to detect where there is deviant behavior and then to isolate that behavior and treat it. We need to treat with it holistically.
Right. And the last incident that we saw, it occurred within your district. And, there have been a lot of conversation in the space on social media, about persons being fearful to even come forward and give any type of information that they may have had regarding these type of instances. Have you had any conversations with members of your constituency on the importance of really coming forward and their role in helping to fight crime?
No, and I will not do that. I'm a practical person. I'm not in that hogwash kind of ideology where you put people up to expose themselves and gunman pass and just spray the whole block because they don't care. They don't care. My people did the right thing, but the chief secretary did a foolish thing. What do you have to do to go and say you're asking people about if they see, if they know the person? You're out of place. That's not your job. Allow the police to do their job. You're fast. Trying to set up my people. I say kudos to the people of Argyle, kudos to the people of Roxborough. All know the drill. Stay out of them people way. All right? A man who has killed will kill again because he's bloody hot. All right? So let's understand that. Let the police do their job. As I said, what should have happened? There should have been in Tobago what is called a Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security in Tobago, whose sole purpose is to monitor, evaluate data, and make recommendations and suggestions to the police who will enforce the law and make people be safe based on that. They have not done that.
And they
want my people to go and talk and say this. That's not their business. You create a Homeland Security to monitor the streets. Not my people at all.
Right. And one of the suggestions was that Tobago police service, and you would have also contributed to that idea as well. When you came, you recommended that they have that Tobago police service. Do you know what is the current progress that they've made in terms of, possibly recruiting persons or setting up that unit?
I do not know, and I frankly think there can be no Tobago police service under the current chief secretary. He's fast and he's loose and it's dangerous to put a police service in his hands. You have to be careful.
So don't you think that the community has an active role to play in fighting crime?
The community have an active role to play insofar as they offer themselves to become policemen, prison officers, coast guards. They offer themselves to do that. You cannot take an ordinary man who is a family man and ask him, you see anybody with a gun pass across there? You know anybody in the community who has a gun? Nah, my people should stay out of that. I'm advising Tobagans to stay out of that. Let the police do their work. The police is charged with protecting Trinidad and Tobago residents and making them feel safe. Not having us squeal on each other and get ourselves in problems. No, there's something I call cameras. Let them put up the cameras to watch the streets and ensure every camera working. Yeah? There's something I call tapping people's phone. And tapping people's phone from the time it was old phone, where they dial up, and then the punch numbers phone, and now we have cell phone. They're tapping my phone all the time. So they're tapping people's phone. Yeah? Tap people's phone. Get your information. Don't come and ask the public for information now when all of the cameras are them shut down and all only monitoring each other's wife with the phone and all kind of nonsense. That's what they're doing this idea, you know. Instead of monitoring the criminals, they want to know who wife warning who and who man doing this. Stupidness. We have to have a serious country here.
Right. And we saw that the new minister in the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Keith Scotland, he is currently in Tobago to discuss, matters of crime with the Tobago Police Service as well as with the Chief Secretary. Would you, want to be a part of those discussions, or can you see those discussions having a positive impact on where Tobago move forward as we aim to combat crime?
I'm not sure if the new Minister of Scotland is on an excursion. If he's on a Tobago trip, just to walk around, eat some fried bacon, fish and crab or something like that. Because his journey is senseless. I want to make it absolutely clear. Scotland coming here is senseless. There's no sense in it and nothing will come of it. I am saying that now. Totally senseless. Where is he going? He should be fired immediately. You know why? 3 weeks ago, the Prime Minister was here. That's the head of national security. We had the Minister of National Security who was here. All right? So the Prime Minister, the head of the National Security Council, he was here 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, held a crime meeting with the entire National Security Council. We had the head of Army who was there. The head of Coast Guard was there. The head of the Police Service was there. The head of the prison was there. And the head of the THA was there. That is the most powerful national security group that could ever be in Tobago. Where's Scotland going? Where are you going? After the boss talk, what are you going to say now?
Understood.
After the boss has committed resources, both the commissioner, police, and the army and whatever, where is he going to say what?
What about increased police presence within the communities? Do you think that can have an impact on how and on the attitudes that criminals have towards committing crimes?
People are not afraid of police anymore. That's the reality. It doesn't matter. People are not afraid of police anymore. You will sit on TV where they're going up into the police face and say, boy, touch me now, touch me now. They will fight the police. The police will beat them today and the police will have to fight them again tomorrow. People are killing police, they're killing prison officers. It's a Wild West. The only thing that could stabilize the country is good leadership that respects the life of everyone. Because even some of these so-called criminals need to feel safe. Some of them are killing people because they're afraid. And they will kill you first before you kill them. All right? And so we have to create a safe environment for every single body without discrimination. And when we patrol the streets, it's for every single body without discrimination. And when we offer everyone a life to improve their own circumstances, it must be for everyone, even those youngsters, or so-called gangsters and criminals. They must be given opportunity. What I'm seeing today is frightening. We have unemployment relief program. URP was created for people who are having problems, social problems with the law. When they go to jail and come back out, the URP is for them. We have young, bright people with 6 and 8 subjects and even degrees fighting for URP work. And we have persons who are on the social side of life that is not so nice. They can't get jobs. So when you're telling a man who has no real skills, no real education, nothing at all whatsoever, that he can't get a job, and obviously you have baby to mind, you have woman to mind, you have bills to pay, how we gonna make it?
Understood. And you said, I don't know whether jokingly or in all seriousness, that the Prime Minister should be fired.
No, he should fire himself. He should fire himself simply because he has failed. Any single leader who has failed to protect his people should fire him or herself. The first role of any leader is protection of its people. You must protect your people. You know, one time I'm in one of those bad areas in Trinidad, and the guy was saying that they don't want us to buy guns, but everybody have guns. He said the Chinese are gone, the Syrians are gone, the white people are gone, the Indians are gone, but what do we? We must not go and say protect ourselves. And he was a leader. The reality is that every single leader owes it to him or herself to protect his people. They have not been protecting us. Our borders are porous. Yeah? People are bringing animals into our border from different places that are not quarantined, not observed. Thus sickness could come in. The meat are being sold on the market. Yeah? Black market. We have guns, we have ammunitions are coming in. Who is monitoring these things? We have a Coast Guard vessel out there without gas in it. And then when there is gas, the vessel is sunken sometimes. I've seen that vessel underwater already, you know. One look at pirogue. Come on, what are we? Are we serious about patrolling our borders? Somebody out in the sea out there now, they call for backup from the Coast Guard. They say, we have no gas, you know. That's madness. The police have no gas, Coast Guard have no gas, and they want to fight crime. Let a wheel and come again.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
Stay fit this July and August with free aerobics from the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. Let her play. Keep on moving. Java edition. Join us every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hampton Lowlands Multi-Purpose Facility, Tobago. Register online via Ministry social media pages or visit our Tobago location. Hosted by the Ministry of Sports and Community Development and its Pink Rain campaign, empowering women and girls in sports.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Hamstar Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Maths Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Right here on Tobago Updates, we have been talking about the current situation here in Tobago, and I've been chatting with the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Mr. Watson Duke. Good morning, and welcome back. Now, I believe it was on Monday that I had a conversation with one of your former colleagues, Ms. Kiesel Jackson, and she has now launched her own political party, the All People's Party, and she is here in Tobago, soliciting support from Tobagonians for her party. Have you seen this, and what do you think about this new development in the All Tobago People's Party?
I do not know that person.
Fair enough. Well, when it comes to being prepared for the general election, the time is creeping up. We can see. I believe that 2025, we're going to hear very soon the election being called. Are you prepared, and is the PDP prepared to face that election?
Certainly, we are galvanizing our support on the ground on August 25th, which is just about today being the 8th, a few days from now. We intend to have a type of gathering, or a type of meeting at my residence in Moriah, and all Tobagonians who are of a like mind are invited. All right, and we're gonna have a real nice discussion, a mixing and mingling, and a airing of ideas, etc. And from August the 25th, we'll be having our monthly meetings, right, on the road, and our campaign will begin in earnest around that time. And so
around August.
So as a meeting, we're gonna have a mass meeting, because we believe in democracy, we believe in participatory democracy, which means those who are involved in democracy must be able to participate. And so August 25th is the time when we have senior people, young people, we have a few drinks, etc. A cool evening, nice music and thing playing right at my residence, on the outside, that is, not on the inside. On the outside, there's a large enough space on the outside, could have a couple hundred persons. And so we're going to actually be able to mix and mingle and form a perspective as to how we approach our political future.
Realistically speaking, do you think that, after the split between yourself and members of the executive, that the PDP is sufficiently prepared to face the polls within the next few months? And what do you think about the TPP facing the polls as well without you being on that team? So what I'm asking basically is, do you think the two entities are sufficiently strong enough to go up against the PNM?
Understand who Watson Duke is. I'm no ordinary man. I'm no man who just flip into politics and happen to be lucky. Every move I've made was moves towards winning. When I came here in 2015, and I let my political hat down as an independent, alone, single-handedly, I defeated the Platform of Truth or Churchill's Party. I defeated Ashwa Jack Party, TOP. I defeated Crystalline Moore Party, Tobago Forwards. I defeated Jack Warner Party, ILP, that in 2015 as an independent with no structure. I defeated all of them, so much so that the area I contested for, which was Tobago East, When you add my vote, which was about, call it 1,800 or 2,000, if you want to round it off to the nearest 2,000, when you look at my vote and you add all the other votes, apart from the PNM, the sum total of the votes of the ILP, the TOP, the Tobago Forwards, the Platform of Truth couldn't even match my vote. I destroyed all of them together.
And do you think you have that
Just
same...
pause it for a while. That was me as an independent. In 2017, I led a team of neophytes. I want you to underline that word, neophytes. Farley was among them. Faith was among them. Yeah? WASP was among them. They are a bunch of persons who knew nothing of politics. They were not politicians. Their faces were hardly even recognized among Tobagonians. I made them, I big them up, I promoted them as new people, good people. You know how much destruction I wreaked upon the others? People like the Tobago Forwards who went out, yeah? And also to the Tobago Organization of the People went out, and even the Platform of Truth, they went out in 2017, and they all got licks. The sum total of our votes were way more than the sum total of Hot Charles Party, Ashwa Jack Party, and Chris Limon Party. We destroyed them. At the next election in 2021, it was just the PDP and the PNM. Because of my leadership and what I would have promised the people through the party, people voted for us. Yeah? We got 6 seats. And then we went back in 1 year later and we got all 15 seats. I still have to have a conversation about Farley, about how they got that 1 seat back. Because Farley's the man to ask how they got back that 1 seat. But I know, as far as I understand, we won all 15 seats and the PNM won none. But I'm yet to have a conversation with Farley, a very candid conversation, for him to explain to me how they got back that 1 seat. I'm telling you something. I've never lost politically. Even when I went to Trinidad to support my colleagues only who were interested in running, we didn't lose. We came up with over, 4 of the persons who ran in Port of Spain won back the deposit. We put up about 8 candidates, and 4 of those persons who ran in Port of Spain won back their deposit. It's a very good show for me.
All right. And when it comes to preparing yourself for that election, do you think that you still have that level of political influence in Tobago, specifically after that type of fallout and everything that has happened since? Do you feel like Watson Duke still has that level of political influence among the people?
I don't feel, I know that. I don't feel that you know that. Watson Duke is the leader in the space. There is no other person in Tobago that can lead Tobago. None. You're going to put who? The Child King there? Ansel Dennis? You can't put Ansel Dennis there. He's a joker.
Right. And you
can't put Farley there either. He is a proven joker also. They're not ready for leadership. I would even put them in charge of our girls' guide team. I wouldn't even put them in charge of that. Total failures. Total failures. Have you observed that since I've left the trade union movement, and I don't comment on it at all, I've simply stayed silent on it. Don't you see how the trade union leaders have become like puppets in the hands of the government? For 10 years, they sign on to 4%. I've never gotten such a bad deal in my life. Huh? All of them have become a bunch of puppets, fighting for survival, licking each other's sores. That's what they're doing. Workers are no more comforted today because there is no fighter among them. There is no true leader among them. One thing I can say, Watson Solomon Duke is a true leader.
Right. And I remember during our last conversation, we talked a bit about the fishermen in Lambo and the fishermen on a whole who were affected by that oil spill. And you indicated that you would work with them to ensure that advocacy for them, receiving just compensation would be done. Have you had any conversation with them since the 50 million has been deposited to the THA?
I've had conversations with the fishermen, not in an official sense, because there's an official group for that, and I will not try to usurp the authority of the group. But I've had conversations with the fishermen. They're still disenchanted and worried about the level of compensation they would be getting and even respect like they're currently getting from this administration. But I say to them, don't worry yourself. Monkey said cool breeze. We got to deal with that. election time.
And do you have any resources, or would you be able to create any type of support for them to help them with the registration process? I think that would have passed already, but I'm not sure. I cannot confirm. But I believe that one of the core issues that they were facing is that a number of the fishermen were having difficulty with the overall application. Some of the criteria would have included them having to have a bank account, being a registered fisherman, or just being able to show proof of the type of damage that was done to their equipment during the oil spill. In terms of providing that level of support, are you able to work with them to help with that?
I have not been able to work with them on that because it's a sort of bureaucratic nonsense. Let me tell you this. When people don't want to pay you, they find a reason to complicate the process and then put it back on you and say, we cannot pay you because, look, you can't fill out the form, you can't read, you can't write. Nonsense. We can't do that. And I'm saying that I, as the up-and-coming leader within the Tobago area, will do much more to change that, right? From the time the damage happened, TEMA and all of these groups should have been out inspecting every single boat. There should have been a massive inspection of boat, a massive evaluation of the losses suffered, pictures taken, reports taken. That should have been done separate and apart from controlling the oil spill, etc. That was not done. What they have is a knee-jerk reaction again, here and there, whatever man fits in. We need to have a more consolidated approach to treating with our people. We don't even have 60,000 persons on the island. It's about 40,000 we have. I'm telling you, we don't even have 60,000 persons on the island. That was a long time thing. People taking pin and jump away now, going away from here.
Right. And we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back and we're going to continue our discussion right after this. See you soon, guys.
Thank you.
Kingsway Ministries International presents Shilofest 2024, Demolishing Limitations, Building Destiny, from August 7th to 11th. Powerful ministers include Bishop David Ibelami, Pastor Anthony Clark, Pastor Ayo Ajim, and host pastor Bishop Ayatunde Akindele.
Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I called you into something. I anointed you to be able to get some things done. But you must see it.
What God has already said yes to, He cannot turn around and say no to.
It is not that the weapons will not be formed. It is that the weapons, though are formed, they will not prosper.
God wants to take you to that level this year where you deal with the limitations and get the actual result that God has for you.
Shilofest 2024 happens from August 7th to 11th at Victory Outreach Church, Scarborough, Tobago. For more information, contact 391-0078 or 354-8654. Shilofest 2024, Demolishing Limitations, Building Destiny. See you at Shilofest.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am Chanel Felix, and this morning I continue my conversation, and we round up our chat here with Mr. Watson Duke, who is the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots. Now, we have seen your comments, and we want to thank you for liking and sharing. And Mr. Duke, we have a question for you in the comment section that says to ask you what you think about the Air and Sea Bridge.
The Air and the Sea Bridge does not support our senior citizen. The Air and the Sea Bridge is counterproductive to our senior citizen. I would like to see a country where senior citizens are allowed the ease of travel, one, and also the ability to travel based on the ability to pay. We used to have a reduction on the sea bridge that's taken away that reduction, exemption for persons over 60. They have taken it away. I mean, why have they done that? It's commerce. Once you have the movement of people, you have the exchange of commerce one way or the other. Why are they trying to prevent the senior citizens who have served our country one way or other? Why are we trying to prevent them from going to Trinidad or coming to Tobago? That should be changed. They have attacked them to me in a place that hurt them there a lot in their monies, their pension. Also, where the air bridge is concerned, they have carried the price up. And that to me, again, you have attacked them where it hurts the most in their pension. So we need to at least look after our senior citizens more. And I will be moving quickly upon winning those 2 seats in Tobago to advocate strongly, and you know how Watson Juniors advocate strongly already, for the senior citizens to be at least given a pass, a reduction in cost, or even in some cases pay nothing for traveling between Trinidad and Tobago, and particularly on the ferry.
Right, question. Just as there is assistance for senior citizens to get onto the plane with the disability assistance, I'm not sure, does that exist on the sea bridge as well?
I would want to see that also to persons who challenge from a physical point of view, physically challenged, they would be given some level of easement insofar as the ferry service. You know, and people are saying that the plane ticket is way cheaper than the cost to fly between Trinidad and Tobago. A man could go anywhere in Europe for 40 euros, you know, 60 euros and thing, you know. All right? So come on, let's try and understand that we want people to move freely between Trinidad and Tobago. And I still think we can do much more with at least the air bridge priced between Trinidad and Tobago for now. People are burdened too much and they are made to take on too many responsibilities. And that should not be so. We should live a life at ease, man. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
40,000 people on the island. 40,000.
Right. And we shift gears a bit because Roxborough had one of those really outstanding performances within the last Tobago Heritage Festival presentation. They are one of those presentations that came back. As this year tried to bring on a number of communities who had not been a part of the festival for a while. Were you able to partake in the festivities, and what was your overall view of their performance?
Well, certainly I was there. Also, the other representative for the area, and Observer, she was there also too. It's the first time we wore the same jersey. Blue. We don't wear that color at all. And we don't dress alike. But nevertheless, for the sake of Roxborough, we united, and I would say that I participated. I was there motivated and egging them on. Come on, let's go. We've no rain falling. Let's go, let's go. So when you see them walking through the rain and getting on, I prompting them, because for let alone, I mean, I got a little cold from it, but I'm restored back to full health and vitality now.
So you are saying that you are really the man behind the endurance?
No, I'm saying I was the man who inspired them to go through the rain.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the rain keep coming and they will stop and try to shelter.
Right.
I said, look, forget that, let me go through the rain, man. And I begin to motivate them, which I can do. And I'm glad you did it, because it shows a level of realness, a passion in the thing. It gave everything a life. I actually filmed part of it, and I got mad reviews on Rocks. But I say that in particular, that Belmana riot reenactment, deserve a full day by itself. And when I take those 2 seats, East and West, I will be strongly advocating for a holiday, a national holiday, right? A national, Tobago, a national holiday called the Riots of Roxborough, as the case may be. And let me say a little more. Apart from Haiti riots, where they overtook the government, it was the only riot in the entire Caribbean where the slaves rose up and overthrew the government. They overthrew the government. Hence, it took place on the 1st of May to the 5th. After that, the Queen went to the House of England, the Parliament in England, and she got authority to remove the executive powers of the then Tobago House of Assembly. It is from that moment in 1876, because of that riot, that we lost our executive powers.
And I've heard conversations where persons are, saying that this is something that we can add to the tourist product when it comes to the trail that was walked by, the members of the group, and creating somewhat of a landmark that tourists can pass through and have
Yes.
that experience. So what do you think about that?
I like the idea. I like the idea. I mean, Roxborough should really be a city. Hence, I've heard the city of Roxborough is something that we have designed. But my colleagues, they have no vision. My colleagues in assembly have no vision. They are backward. They are just playboys and playgirls inside there. They reject the idea of the city of Roxborough. And so every time they go out trying to sell something for foreign direct investment, they want to sell Carnival, they want to sell this, they want to sell things people are not interested in. Hence, we have had no real foreign direct investments at all in Tobago, because the only thing in which there is a drawing is a concept that shows where you want to go. They're not supporting that.
All right. And unfortunately, we've reached the end of our discussion this
Wow.
morning. That was really quick. There's so much more that we could have tapped into.
So much more.
But unfortunately, we don't have enough time for today, and we have a lot more conversations that we still have to facilitate. So I look forward to seeing you again. I mean, you're no stranger here, so hopefully we get to continue our discussion. Guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine. The Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine. The Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said it's okay, it's my therapy, therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love.
Tobago updates.
And welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, guys. We continue our discussions here, and in studio with me, I have the pleasure of chatting with one of the community activists here in Tobago, Mr. Leroy George. Now, you have utilized your platform on Facebook to make a number of comments on a number of issues regarding economy, regarding crime. And so this morning you want to make your voice heard here on Tobago Updates, and we are providing that platform for you to share your opinions on matters concerning the economy. What are your opinions on where Tobago is as we stand?
Well, shortly after I would have made my last contributions on the issue where Tobago's economy and subsequently where we are socioeconomically, where crime is concerned, took place. I would have done a live just last night. I got a call from Tobago Updates to come and speak. And I think central to any conversation, we should always remember the words of a very renowned civil rights activist in the person of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King would have stated that one of the worst things that society could do is to have a portion of that society feeling disenfranchised as though they don't have a stake in that society. And that such persons, whether consciously or subconsciously, would automatically want to destroy that society once they feel as though they don't have a stake in that society. And so whilst crime may not have one particular genesis, as in it's not the fault of any one person or any one thing, we all can ask ourselves, what can we do to have these disenfranchised persons in our society feel as though they have a stake in our society? So instead of pointing fingers, as we're seeing in the public space, and you're seeing THA representatives or persons who support this particular THA administration at this time when crime is at its highest point in Tobago, stating that THA can't do anything about it because central government can't have the authority according to the 6th schedule of national security. No, let's start asking ourselves, what can THA do? For example, we see in the 5th schedule in the 33 responsibilities that the Tobago House of Assembly have, we see education is there, and the persons who would have drafted that act, the Act 40 of 1996, they were very careful to put in open and closed brackets after education, on next to education, curriculum. So we have the authority to draft a curriculum whereby our students here in Tobago could be educated in such a manner that it actually fosters patriotism, and as a result, just being patriotic, even when life gets difficult, even when the economy fails us, etc., they would feel driven to not engage in criminal activities. That is one of the things that we could do right here in Tobago with the Tobago House of Assembly. Also, it is important to remember that stopping crime is not the job of the police, right? I heard Mr. Duke just before make a statement about persons not being afraid of the police, and I would agree with that sentiment. There is one thing that he said that I don't agree with, and I hope you'd remind me. That thing about not snitching and all of that, I do not agree with that. But it is true. What is true is that criminals are more afraid of poverty than they are with the police. So therefore, seeing that we have a Tobago House of Assembly government administration set up, whereby the vast majority of the money, the gross domestic product here in Tobago is controlled by the Tobago House of Assembly, what their responsibility is to foster an environment whereby young persons feel as though the opportunities that exist within the legal realm or legal work or legal ways of making income is much better and much more enticing than the opportunities that exist in the world of criminal activity. So those are two things that we really need to do, and addressing one thing that I feel needs to be addressed greatly. It's not just up to central government and THA, it's also up to you and I. There is moral decay taking place in the Tobago space, and I want to say, I personally, if I see anybody engaging in illegal activity, whether they're toting guns or they're selling cocaine or anything that will make things hard for the people in Tobago, I am going to report it to the police. Yes, there are corrupt police officers out there, but I am 1,000,000% certain that the vast majority of police officers here in the Tobago space and in the Trinidad and Tobago space are good police officers. And as a result, and I know personal police officers who, if I speak to them, persons who I grew up with, if I speak to them and I say, listen, this, that and the other is the case, they will protect me because I know them. And I'm sure every adult in Tobago knows a police officer that they could go to. So no, you don't have to go to the police station and hope that the random police officer that you talk to is a good one that will protect your interests and make sure that the criminals do not turn on you. You could go and speak to the police officer who you do in fact trust. And so it's up to us to do our part.
Right.
Also,
And we, sorry about
Yes.
that. We have seen a number of consultations happening here in Tobago. We've seen that the Prime Minister came over and he had that joint discussion with the Chief Secretary. And we now see that the new minister in the Ministry of National Security, Mr. Scotland, is in Tobago now. Have you listened to some of the suggested policies to help combat crime in Tobago, and what is your opinion on that?
yes, I've listened, and I'm not impressed at all, to say the least, right? Minister in the Ministry of National Security doesn't actually mean he's in charge of national security. There is an actual minister in charge of national security, and so anything he says doesn't carry the amount of weight that one would expect if it was the actual minister in charge. That also being said, put that aside, the conversation needs to happen within the knowns that exist within our constitution, etc. For example, Tobago has authority over about 6 or 7 miles of marine territory right around the perimeter of Tobago. We have reef patrol, etc. And so, if guns are coming into Tobago, perhaps we should invest more into the reef patrol officers. They are not being paid livable salaries. I have quite a few friends who are reef patrol officers. They are not being paid livable salaries. Perhaps you need to increase the number of boats, increase the kind of money they're being paid so that they feel enfranchised within our society to do their jobs and patrol our waters better. We also, in the 5th schedule, have authority over the airport and seaport. So to say that the guns passing through the airport and seaport and that the Tobago House of Assembly has no say in that, no, we could assert ourselves in those situations. But of course, we have to have leaders and representatives that are willing to not abdicate every piece of authority that they get through this 5th schedule of Act 40 of 1996 at the moment somebody from central government comes and decides to usurp it away from them.
And with the last murder that took place on the island of Tobago, we're hearing a lot within the social media space, specifically about retaliation and fear that is being touted in Tobago right now. Now, you said that you do not agree with what Mr. Duke said in regards to persons not coming forward at the community level to assist the police in their investigation. So what is your recommendation when it comes to individuals in the community still feeling safe, still feeling protected while also doing their part in the investigation? You highlighted that you think that they should talk to a police officer who they know, but do you think that would really restore confidence in the public to communicate the information that they have with police officers?
There's nothing to be restored. There are police officers who I know personally, right? I could even call the name, but I don't know if they would be comfortable with that. I know if I go to my neighbor, my next door neighbor is a police officer, right? One of my best friends growing up as a child is a police officer. Some of my former co-workers in former places. I know for sure there's nothing to be restored. We have that communication, we have that trust, whereby I could share information with them and that information will not go back to the criminals and they will protect me. So there's nothing to restore whatsoever where that is concerned. Persons that are trying to say that leave it up to the police to fight crime by themselves and all of that, they are being lazy. That is the reality of the situation, because if your personal child was a victim of crime, you would find ways to assist the police officers in solving the crime. If your child is going down a path of criminal activities, etc., you will find ways to get them off of the block without directly addressing the other guys on the block, etc. And likewise, we need to see Tobago as belonging to us and find ways to assist the police. The good ones out there, the ones that we trust, because even if it's a bad one, trust me, that same bad one, he has a friend that he would not sell out to the criminals under no circumstances. So it's as simple as that. Put in the effort into making sure that we are each other's brothers' keepers.
There was a town hall meeting that was held very recently at the Plymouth Community Center, I believe, multipurpose center, with the Sherburne police in that area. Were you able to be a part of that discourse?
No, I was not a part of that discourse.
And how have, outside of social media, how have you, been utilizing your voice or your community activism? How far has that gone?
One of the things that is causing a lot of crime in Tobago is that we're creating a socio-economic class system that did not exist in Tobago when I was growing up as a child, right? When I was growing up as a child, we didn't have rich areas and poor areas. That is something that's now coming in. And so one of the things that happened when I was a child and the murder rate in Tobago was 1 or none a year, was that the rich and the poor would communicate with each other, right? And when you are communicating, I communicate with a lot of the guys on the block, etc. When you are communicating with them as a law-abiding citizen, you need to be assertive. You need to make sure that your communication is respectful, but at the same time, you are respected to the point whereby idiotic conversations about who better than who and all of that kind of nonsense and 6 and 7 is shut down very quickly. And that is something that we have to bring back into our culture and intertwine into our culture so that the conversations that are taking place among the rich, the poor, the highly educated, the undereducated, etc. is one that does not facilitate criminal activity.
All right, totally. So have you kind of touched a bit on the gang-related violence that, we have seen spilling over into Tobago with the contention between the 6 and 7 gangs. When you do go out in the community to talk to the boys on the block, do you hear the narrative regarding gang affiliation to these
Not at all. We
gangs?
don't have a 6, 7, 8, 9 problem here in Tobago, right? As a matter of fact, it's very important to take note of something. The day before Chris of Christmas List was supposed to come to Tobago to investigate the criminal activities or the block boys, etc. in the Tobago space. That is when he was arrested and charged with sedition, etc. And so the service was happened in the Tobago space. But what I do find interesting is that I did watch almost all the videos that Mr. Chris of Christmas List put up. And in science, when you see something recurring over and over again, then you're able to elevate what may have originally started as a hypothesis, and we're having a lot of discussions that are all hypotheses. I think this is what is happening, to having now theories and facts. And it is a fact that when he interviewed all these young men, consistently, we're hearing these young men say that we feel disenfranchised. We are hearing these young men say that if we can gain employment that would make us feel as though we are contributing to our society, make us feel enfranchised, that will give us livable wages, etc., then we would walk away. And that is something that is constantly being said. So they are very open to putting down the guns, and they are very open to stopping crime. Whilst we may not have the same 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 situation taking place in Tobago, and it is not fashionable on the corners of Tobago among the young black men to associate yourself with 6, 7, 8 and 9, the same socio-economic factors are there. As a matter of fact, we are seeing an exponential increase in crime in Tobago, more so than in Trinidad. The last time I checked, the murder rate per capita in Tobago is actually higher than the murder rate per capita in Trinidad. And so we have to now ask ourselves what is happening in the Tobago space that is causing crime to escalate at such a fast rate. One of the things that I would always want to point out is the decreasing size of our economy. If you listen to Dr. Vanish James, one of the most celebrated economists in the Tobago space, you would see that Tobago has been seeing back to back decrease in economy or negative growth, economic growth in the Tobago space. And what a recession is when you have 2 terms, 3-month terms of back to back negative growth, you are in a recession. So Tobago is in a very bad place. And so even when we saw economic growth in the Trinidad space, we saw economic shrinkage in the Tobago space. And that is why I'll come back to say we need to facilitate an environment here in Tobago whereby the young people feel as though the opportunities that exist in the legal realm are greater than the opportunities that exist in the world of crime, because things are going south really quickly in Tobago, and we have to facilitate the growth of the private sector and a better and more efficient way of going about public sector control and activities.
Thank you so much for your contribution. It's a shame that we have to wrap up already this morning. There's so much that we can actually get into. The people want to know if they can see Leroy George putting himself out there again in the political arena, maybe come next general election or next THA election.
Yes, definitely. I have every intention of doing so. So look forward to seeing and hearing more from me with that intent.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we have to wrap up this morning's discussions right here. We want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discourse by liking, sharing, and commenting. And thanks for all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster on the island of Tobago. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is #1. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival!
Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here, we're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We build artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.